Hello, welcome to the Fantasy Fair. The what is it? Oh, that is right. The most magical audio commentary on Earth. Joining us, I have Alexys Soto and Alexys Moreno. How are you two Alexises doing?
Good.
We're doing wonderful. Onward, right?
We are going onward with this audio commentary. It's safe to say that me and Moreno were a blubbering mess while watching this movie. So beware. There will be a lot of sniffling, a lot of crying on both ends, while Alexys Soto is just constantly frustrated with the editing process of trying to remove all the sniffles, right, Alexis?
It's hey, look, there's centaurs.
Oh, I love Chronicles of Narnia. I'm just kidding. These are jokes.
The jokes. These are the jokes, people.
These are the jokes, people. Okay. Yeah. Concept of this movie is actually really brilliant, I think. Looks like Crazy Frog, to be honest. Do you remember Crazy Frog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Holy Grail. Was it designed specifically to look like Gandalf?
Yeah.
I mean...
Okay.
We have the Smurfs. Dude, that would be the crossover of the century. Crossing this over with Smurfs.
There is an interesting side commentary happening throughout the film. And again, it's not necessarily something that the movie focuses on because we have Ian and Barley. But, you know, the side issue or the side commentary that's being thrown out here is just with the advancement of technology, humanity seems to be losing a little bit of humanity. I mean, I think the whole loss of using magic in this fantasy-filled world is seemingly some kind of an allegory for how humanity has lost that sense of magic with things being now so mundane. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else caught that.
No, okay, yeah.
First of all, I really love the visual gag of them unicorns just being stray dogs.
I got the impression they were like cats or something. I don't know.
But secondly, it's a very conservative standpoint. Like, oh, we need to go back to the old ways before technology. Science is the devil.
I understand part of that.
I think it's more of
I'm joking, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being like, well, it's not exclusively, I think, a conservative point of view. I feel a lot of, what do you call them, Kyle? Hipsters would agree with that sentiment in terms of hey, man, we're all cool and hip and everything. I don't know what I was trying to go for. It was
Why
weird.
You make them sound like hippies?
I don't know. It's late. We're at the beginning.
Hipsters more sound like nerds. Like, oh my god, I collected the limited edition Lumineers vinyl. Just list off any record they played on freaking Hollister and you find yourself some hipster music.
I think it's more like of them being like, it's okay to have like all of this new technology and whatnot, but sometimes it helps to turn off the screen sometimes
and have a real human connection, which maybe not in the time of COVID-19 was this the place for that message, considering we can't really be with each other and we're kind of dependent on the whole like technology to even have any kind of contact. So
But yet again, this could be the perfect movie for quarantine, especially with families and everything like that, because it's just like get closer with your family, and I like that. Again, this whole thing they're very rooted in family and the importance of it, and that's the whole message with Onward that I really love. And the poor not Barley, Ian, all he wants is some fucking breakfast.
And at every single turn, it gets like, just snatched. I don't think he ever eats anything, does he?
No. Poor boy. So
I think a big part of this movie is just, I think you mentioned it at the top of the recording, are just the gags, the visual gags in this, like, the duality of this, what would seemingly be like a Shrek kind of world, or like a fairy tale kind of world, but with modern day era sensibilities, and it's
without the digs at Disney, of course.
And I think it works really well. I mean, to me, not that this is to me like my favorite Pixar movie, but it's kind of my favorite theatrical. I think the people on this panel are one of the few people in humanity that actually got a chance to experience this movie in the theaters before they were shut down. But I wanted to say that this was one of my
#blessed.
This was my favorite theatrical experience in a Pixar movie because our group had practically the entire theater to ourselves. And as I mentioned previously, it's become customary in the last 10 years, where either it's just annoying children or annoying adults that ruin the entire, like, they just make the ordeal just unbearable to me. But this was fun. This was like so much fun because then we had the ability to laugh as hard as we wanted to without worrying about, like, people around us, and we laughed really hard. We laughed really hard.
By the way, I don't know if they recorded together or not, but like the chemistry between Chris Pratt and Tom Holland is impeccable. I really like them as characters together.
No,
and also Chris Pratt lends, like, his voice and styling. He lends himself to be very brotherly, too.
I love Barley.
It's almost as if.
Oh wait! Did you guys know that was the voice who does this character? The person who does the voice for this character is Fez from That 70s Show.
Oh, Wilmer Valderrama?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Really?
Yeah. Yesterday, the director of this movie was watching it, because when did it come out? It came out like 2 days ago on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like tweeting as he watched and like answering questions and stuff. And that was one of the things that he said. And that they're coming out with a board game version of the game in the movie.
Oh, okay. Also, like, I like how Dungeons and Dragons and like mythical games and interactivity has become like huge in the pop culture subtext.
Mm-hmm.
Just quickly wanted to comment on what Kyle said previously. It's almost as if, Dan Scanlon, the writer and director of the film, wrote the characters with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt in mind, because just about everything about Ian and Barley, it was like, it was perfect for Tom Holland and Chris Pratt to play those roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the fucking list. That got me in the end. The thing that I like about Pixar is that they really set up their worlds well.
Yeah, they do.
With explaining it visually versus like saying, "Oh, now this is this and this is that."
Cars 2 got a little out of hand. It seemed like, anyway.
Cars
2, the spy movie.
There's a spy movie called Cars 2.
The only spy movie Peter can remember.
And he's part of a spy movie podcast. God damn it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, they say a lot with saying so little, and how this world works and everything like that, without actually like saying, without giving exposition dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
You just automatically know that this is a fantasy world, with modern day conveniences.
Y'all remember your guys' first time driving in a freeway?
Oh, yeah.
I learned how to drive in LA.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Never mind.
That's a hell of a way to learn.
Like, I drove, like, around in the valley and stuff, or, like, where we live. And then, like, as soon as I got my license, I started going to school for cosmetology, but the school was in LA. And that's how I, like, learned to drive better or whatever. But, yeah.
Wow.
Crash course. How scared were you?
I was pretty scared. I felt bad because the person who was with me, who also went to that school, I scared her a couple times.
Yeah, that'll do it.
L.A.? More like no way. No one? Okay.
No one ever.
Okay.
Ever. Oh God.
Oh,
Here's the
I
Guinevere.
love him.
He's just excited to be with his brother. You know?
And yet simultaneously just, a pariah.
Yeah. One of the comparisons I heard someone say was like, even from this moment, like, you could tell the whole, like, father figure with Barley, because he shows up
because this is a
from
dad
school,
move right here, right?
him. Yeah.
This is a dad move. Just coming, showing up with his beat up car, embarrassing the crap out of you.
Exactly. And yeah. Also, there was some comparisons with Barley and Star-Lord.
I mean, I think it's just a Chris Pratt thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
One more thing though, Alexis, this might be helpful, and I'm sure you already have some. Did you have those tweets handy on you by Dan Scanlon?
Oh, yeah.
For some insight, just in case we need it. For this, because it is a relatively recent release, and this is, as I think Moreno and Kyle, this is the second time they've seen it. This is my third time watching it, so it's
to be honest, this is our first time and quickest time we get out an audio commentary from release
home video release anyway.
No, not to home release, but from theater to audio commentary. This is the span of a month that we're talking about right now.
I feel so bad for him. His whole day just fell apart. He had that, confidence, and then it was well, shit.
One of the things he said right off the bat was, if you like seeing the old days of Onward, there's going to be a graphic novel coming out soon about the Manticore's adventures during these days of old, written by myself and Mariko Tamaki.
Okay.
I guess because I haven't seen any videos about any Easter eggs, so we can keep an eye out if we see any stuff, because Pixar movies usually have a lot of stuff on walls or on backgrounds.
I want to know if where they put the Pizza Planet truck.
I didn't find any the first. I mean, I was paying attention to the movie and stuff, but yeah. I mean,
I'm
if
sure
you guys see
if we
them,
look up an article right now, they'd know where it is in the movie, right?
Yeah. But that's the fun. It's looking for them.
Try to find it. Yeah.
The director, he does have a cameo that's in the beginning of the movie. Can you guys guess what it is?
No. The dad?
No.
The teacher?
No.
Okay.
He's the workout guy.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious.
When we were watching this in the theater, and I know we're all going to have thoughts of, this sequence right here, but there was just something to me that was so powerful and special about this sequence. That was the one where it's that's how you make a movie. And with that sequence of him having obviously a discussion that he's always wanted to have his whole life with his father. And of course, the crux of the film, in a way, is just, family. And then also getting over a lost loved one. And I can't help, and I thought about this because, COVID-19 was beginning in earnest when this film was released in its theatrical days. But I just can't help but wonder, in some instances, hope that this could be a source of comfort for people who are losing people that they love because of the pandemic that is going on right now.
Way to drag this podcast down, Alexis.
Well, it's just the truth, right?
Yeah.
And people find closure in outlets like these. Like this whole thing right here, I know.
Well, that's the very foundation of films, is it not? Escapism?
Mm-hmm. And you just know, I mean, Dan Scanlon will, keep popping up in the conversation, but it's like, in many ways, the story, I think, lands emotionally because it does come from a true place. It's the story of Dan Scanlon and his brother and never knowing his father.
Mm-hmm.
It again, it's like the reason why, like, James Gunn's work on, like, the Guardians movies and so on is so I think, like, personal. That, that gives it its more better connection to everything else. Also, it's a very bold move. We were sold on the idea that this is Onward, but instead this is a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but with Star-Lord and Groot. I got jokes, people. I'm gonna keep them coming.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, everybody. She's great. I love her.
Yeah. He
Splinter.
Like, he's so, like, I could compare, like, his character to something like Bert from Mary Poppins. Because the thing is that Bert, even though he knows his situation, he's most likely homeless. He's most likely everything like that. But he has such, like, a high energy for life, and he's just happy to be alive.
Are you calling him a loser, Kyle?
No, I'm not calling him a loser, because he freaking makes freaking stuff and all that stuff. He could fly. He can fly by just laughing. I think that's very, very powerful. But I'm just saying that, a guy who, would view life negatively, being on what he calls the bottommost rung, he has such a high thirst for life, and just happy to be alive and just, like, grateful that he just has air in his lungs, and that's the way Barley is right here. He's very he has, like, this thirst and energy that that is incomparable. I mean, he's just, like, the way that he's like,
he's fearless.
And even and when he has his brother, like, you would think that that would automatically spark jealousy, and this is where, like, Barley is such a good character, because he's utmost thrilled that his brother is a freaking wizard.
Well, part of
he would think that he was the one to have.
There've been so many versions of the story where you would just expect that the brother would be naturally jealous. I mean, like Thor is one example I think of, of a brother who's just, like, forever and ever jealous of that. But it's like, Barley at no point does he think like, well, I should have been the one. Like, he's just legitimately excited for his little brother to be the one.
Yeah, like utterly supportive of him.
I love him.
I really like the score, by the way. Not many people bring it up, but I think it's not necessarily in these loud moments all that special, but it has some subtle moments throughout the movie that I really do like.
The house must smell. It's a mushroom.
Wow. I am so sorry for anybody who's listening to this.
Hi, David.
What did you guys think? What were your guys' thoughts initially, and then after about there being a pair of legs as a character?
Okay. I knew that the pair of legs was gonna be the thing from the trailers.
Everybody did, yeah.
So I was like, okay, we're doing this. How are they gonna utilize him? How are they gonna utilize the legs and like, because obviously it's Pixar, they're gonna do visual gags with the pair of legs, and like how much of it will be a nuisance to the story? And it wasn't. It was actually a good thing because it's kind of like a metaphor.
Ugh. I love this. This scene actually reminded me of like Jojo Rabbit.
The shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the shoes and like everything, like foot movements and all that stuff, are really integral to the story.
Oh, one of the things that the director tweeted was that they specifically chose for the dad to have purple socks because he knew that he was gonna be part of the end and like there being like a sunset.
So like a visual cue.
I mean, in all honesty, and I think I've mentioned this in the reviews of this movie and our podcasts, the trailers, and again, I think the rule is for many Pixar trailers, are just not, except for some, but they're not that overwhelming, and I wasn't necessarily expecting all that much from this, considering the material that I saw. And as far as the legs are concerned, it made me frankly a little, okay, we're going to do this here. But no, I mean, to me, I think when it comes to just about every aspect of what this movie ended up being, I was surprised. I was surprised with how well it was and how much I enjoyed it. And I think we're at a point with this being Pixar's, I think, 21st, 22nd movie. 22nd. Where, yeah, the Pixar formula at this point is pretty transparent, but it to me, the Pixar formula works just as well as it ever did, unlike other formulas like Marvel, for example. Like, for what this movie is and for what it does it really well. And I can't really complain too much about that. I got exactly what I would want out of a Pixar film, and then some. In a case where I was expecting to get something less than,
I think the thing that I like about this movie more than like others that have recently come out is that this is such, well, because I was fully invested with the movie as soon as they announced it. And I love that it's such a personal story.
Right.
And I love that. And that's why I was like super invested in it, because the director
It's been a while since we've
had
had one of those, haven't we? A personal that comes from a true place. The last one we were supposed to get was with John Lasseter and his wife in a Toy Story 4 that never ended up being because, well, he was fired and everything.
It aged horribly.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And all,
God.
like to add to what Moreno was saying, I guess you could say that that this movie had legs,
I hate you so much.
and I guess you could also say that this movie stood with its own 2 feet. Okay, I killed everyone on this panel. Now this podcast is up to me. It is up to me to finish up this audio commentary. So here we begin. Guinevere. I think Guinevere is a brilliant, like, kind of counteractive to like what would be back then a noble steed, I guess, but now it's just a van. I love that. It's kind of like, I know you guys don't like it, but it's kind of like, I like how they translate old day things to like new day things, with like Romeo plus Juliet, like the broadsword, their
To be
pistols
fair, we don't like the original that much better. I mean, and I'm talking about the Shakespeare story. We're not really a fan of Romeo and Juliet.
No, I'm talking about Baz Luhrmann's.
I know, but we don't like the story to begin with, so it's not really fair to Baz Luhrmann, you know?
But like when they call it the broadswords, you know, and the pistols, one would be called broad and the other one would be called sword. I love, he drew upon his broadsword, and I like that little bit.
This Chris Pratt I don't know, it's Barley, and I think really, you know, what we're going to be saying Chris Pratt and Tom Holland as far as the voice performance is concerned, you know, why they work so well for their characters is they are those characters, right? And at some points they do disappear into it. But like this Chris Pratt, in terms of like just the voice work, like I haven't, to me, heard this Chris Pratt since Parks and Recreation. You know, when he was a different Chris Pratt back then.
When he was Burt Macklin, FBI.
Burt Macklin, yeah. Like the fun nature of Barley reminds me of
Andy.
Right, Andy Dwyer. Yeah. By the way, if you haven't watched Parks and Recreation, love it. Go watch it. One of the best shows ever made.
Yeah. Get on your feet
and make it happen. Oh, God. And it's one of those comedy series that has an amazing series finale, an emotional series finale. Well earned.
And also, like, I don't know. Like, again, funny moments happening. Also, the thing that you have this over a Parks and Recreation of The Office is that the lead character doesn't leave in towards the end of the season.
Shit, throwing some shade there.
And it doesn't go off the rails.
I love how they stay in character. It's like a fucking Disneyland cast member. I mean, this whole part right here.
Even the costumes. Dude, chicken nuggets. Am I right?
Tater tots. Are those tater tots?
Too relatable.
I know, right?
Okay.
Hold on, man.
Tenders.
I gotta rant something. There was this one time I was like 2 or 3 minutes late for a class for my job as a substitute, right?
Right.
And then like one of the guys tells me, who is part of the security, it's like, "Sir, you need to be here on time because, you know, it really sets us back." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And in my mind, it's like, oh my God, these kids are about to draw. I'm sorry, me being late 3 minutes and setting them back. How? Like that's what their assignment was that day. These are 7th graders who have an assignment to draw on a piece of paper. Yeah, that's setting them back. And they have 2 periods to finish it. Please get over yourself. Oh, I mean, I shouldn't have been late, but like, really? Okay. Sorry. Go.
Okay. Question for you guys: chicken tenders or chicken nuggets?
Why is this? Oh my god.
Kyle.
What? This isn't a damn fast food review. What?
Out
These
of
are the
everything
questions.
that's going on in the movie, this is what you ask.
I know. I know. Like,
These are the questions, people.
I think the burning question is, who still uses karaoke machines? I mean, right? Like, they're not really.
You clearly do not hang out with enough Filipinos.
Kyle, nobody can. Everybody's on lockdown. I mean, what? I didn't realize this was Octavia Spencer.
You didn't realize this is her?
No, until the end of the movie. And I read her name. I really didn't know this was her.
She's great. I love this character.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
She has like a nervous breakdown.
Yeah. And it was triggered by the...
I don't blame her.
No, I don't at all, but it's just hysterical.
Again, like, this is like one of those movies where you have to like, where it has like the rewatchability factor going in, because there's so many like visual gags and everything like that.
What's this place supposed to be, like a Denny's or a Sizzler?
Like a Chuck E. Cheese?
Like a Chuck E. Cheese, Shakey's, one of those.
Well, maybe not. Maybe like...
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at this.
Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Where it has like multiple things going on as well, not just an arcade.
I'm really trying hard to find like the Easter eggs.
By the way, I had some killer barbecue wings at Dave and Buster's. Like, it is to die for. Oh, the floor is on fire. I guess you could say that the dad couldn't stand it. I could see the fumes coming out of Alexis Soto's ears.
I don't think I'm alone in that, Kyle. If you think that I'm the only one that feel this way, just read the comments.
Hi, Moreno. How are you? How are you doing over there? Little Kayla.
Thank God for Kayla. Otherwise, this movie wouldn't have happened.
Imagine they didn't get the map.
Can the dad hear what they say?
No, it's just a freaking pair of legs.
Okay.
Do legs have ears? No, sir. Have you never studied legology?
Well, I went to Scuttle's, biology class, so I might have gotten the wrong impression.
What did you think were the ears?
Well, I
gelatinous cube.
I don't know who's more misguided as far as Disney characters are concerned, as far as like human biology, Scuttle or Pleakley.
Educate yourself. Dude, he rocked those outfits.
Yeah, there was something going on there. I'll just leave it there.
We need to do a Lilo and Stitch audio commentary.
I mean, if it's going to be half all puns, count me out. I'm not...
This audio commentary has not been all puns. Relax.
So this is the part where the mom would have caught them. And then it didn't happen.
In a lesser movie, but this is not a lesser movie, fortunately.
This is hilarious.
Main man.
the implications of it just saying Maine.
By the way, has there ever been another Pixar movie that has so like overtly used Apple products as this?
No.
Well, now you know that everybody is a good guy because they're all using Apple products.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I mean, Apple and Pixar go back.
I also love that they show like the mom with the boyfriend and like that the boyfriend isn't an asshole.
Yeah, that used to be a whole like thing in the 90s, huh?
Yeah.
That would like
Well, not even in the 90s. I mean, it starts back to like freaking Snow White.
Does it?
Snow White,
Like
evil queen, Cinderella, evil
step-parent.
stepmother.
Like usually with the step parent, it's usually like something.
Yeah,
like
but
usually
it's usually the stepmothers, and I mean they're all crazy nut jobs. So I never took them.
But then you get a movie like Liar Liar, and Carrie Elwes is just a big old dork who's like who's a tryhard. Also, I love the fact that they gave her a security blanket.
I mean, she had a meltdown, Kyle.
I know, but like, I don't know. Added details.
I love how excited she gets. The Manicore.
Yeah.
This movie is great to look at as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's finely detailed.
There's I don't know, and again, you know, we mentioned this in Frozen 2, but they're getting so good at saying a lot with the facial expressions with no line of dialogue. Like there are so many points in the movie where we cut to an expression, like with Ian, for example, and his eyes, they're just so expressive. You know what he's thinking, and he's not even saying a damn word. Like, damn.
Also, to be fair, it does help that their eyes are cover like 50% of the face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still impressive to me how animation continues to just advance every year. Like, I think it underrated. I think what's underappreciated, even though we talk about the hair in animation, especially in Pixar movies, going back to like Sully's hair in Monsters Inc. But Ian's hair, especially, is just so incredibly lifelike. Like, I can't even imagine how many people it takes to make hair look that great.
What shampoo does Ian use? Use the Force, Ian.
Same thing.
I love it.
Barley. We stand Barley in this house.
I just love that he's so like I know he can be messy, but like he has the best intentions.
He has a good heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he always acts with you know, as you say, the best of intentions. But part of and I'm not sure if this may be a what's the word for it? I guess a defect with that kind of personality, you know, with just being so fearless, is you do run the risk of just becoming oblivious. And especially in this film, you know, Barley is just entirely oblivious to how everybody sees him.
Mm-hmm. That, or
Also,
he just doesn't care.
I don't think he realizes it until like it's brought up, right? I think I don't think he thinks people see him as a failure in general, and then much less his brother. So I think it was a double
the
whammy
whole
of a
thing-
punch when that
I mean,
happens.
I don't know, because like, I mean, we saw in like, I mean, I don't know if like this is what makes me think that he just
Right.
doesn't care. Like him, how they show in the beginning that he went to stop people from destroying like you know what I mean?
I
So
understand that, but I don't know for sure to say if either he doesn't care or he's just oblivious that he comes across that way. I think it could be either one of the, it could be either one.
I don't think it's either. I think he's just driven by good intent.
Yes,
And that doesn't.
but
that
okay,
doesn't
but
either
that,
make.
even if you're driven by good intent, that does not mean that you're not either oblivious or you just don't care about people's opinions. Like that is a factor of just acting on how Barley does act. I think we'll know for sure when we get to the scene and the cop where the cops stop them. We'll get more clarity on that because I don't recall too well.
Yeah,
Again, we
yeah.
just seen this like once, so
Like some 3 times.
this is only my third time watching it.
Exactly, 3 times.
Okay.
We're on the 3rd right now. This looks like a legit gas station. Like, shit. This is. Honestly, we're this much closer to creating a whole new reality. Also, I like how like these thug like biker gang people is like pixies.
That is so underrated, that line. Do it again and you'll see me in your nightmare.
You at school.
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I think you're referring to me saying that to one of my students, right? Do it again and you'll see me in your nightmares. Yeah, I'm not mean. I'm honestly very, very liked by them, only because I let them do things others don't. And also, I don't care. I mean, I'm not a hard ass.
Oh, if corporal punishment was still a thing, you'd still...
Gaiety raid.
I don't really believe in corporal punishment. Cruel and unusual, though, that is far more interesting. Jokes, people. I'm not being serious.
Sure. Oh, the reflection on the street. Just little things like that.
We never think about people who do the lighting and animation.
No.
But like, man.
We don't think about animators, period, it seems
True.
like. And not just with
And
animated movies, but with, a lot of the big blockbuster films that depend on VFX.
That's why it was like, that's why it was kind of brokenhearted by Rebel Wilson and James Corden at the Oscars when they threw the entire visual effects team of Cats under the bus.
That was offensive. That wasn't funny. It was just plain rude. And really, like, yeah, it was just distasteful for them to just throw their own film under the bus. But I don't understand who thinks that's funny.
Okay, by the way, did you see Lindsay Ellis's video?
No,
of
not yet.
Why
No,
is Cats?
no.
Ah, okay.
You got a lot of nerve. You see right here, he doesn't have any idea that he's coming across as offensive to them. Like, he's not picking up that he's literally pissing them off. Like, you see? My ancestor. What did you say about literally any Southerner right now?
Oh,
what did you say
by
about
the
my
way,
ancestors?
They're pixies eating pixie sticks.
Oh, no. I love this. The bottle.
Breaking the glass.
You're gonna have to.
So I assume this is still Chris Pratt. They just like modulated the voice.
Yeah. Well, it's like when they did the Chipmunks.
Put it in O. Sorry, I keep interrupting. They just keep saying like good lines.
The what?
It's okay.
Oh, the lines though. Damn.
This is literally me with David.
Yeah.
Like, we'll both be screaming and I'll just be like, just do it!
Yeah. Okay.
These are the lessons in life.
But what
Yeah.
happens when you have to signal right?
Did you not learn
Then
your
you-
signals?
This is right.
You
This
can't
is
reach.
left.
You can't reach the other side of the window.
No, look at. I'm pointing up. That's right.
I can't
Yeah.
see you. I'm looking at the movie. Thank you very much.
This is
Ah.
this side, and then stop. In case, you encounter a driver who doesn't have a blinker.
Or you yourself don't have a working blinker at the
Whoa.
time.
Damn. It's a fucking sword right there.
Also, perfect planting.
Yeah. Dude, everything in this movie, like, has a payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Damn.
This is a perfect driving lesson. This is good.
Mm.
Who taught you guys how to drive?
My parents. And
Yeah.
that one lady that I would go to LA with.
Alexis?
Yes,
Your
same.
parents? My uncle taught me how to drive.
It's funny
It-
because I thought my mom was gonna be like the crazy one, like, and teaching me how to drive, but it was the complete opposite.
It was your dad.
It was my dad. Like, my dad is such a bad
Teacher?
co-pilot. No. And my mom is usually the one that's like always yelling. But no, my mom was like the calm one and was like, she would yell at my dad for yelling at me.
Your parents didn't want to teach you how to drive, Kyle?
They never had the patience for me, like in terms of like teaching me anything.
What about your brothers?
They haven't begun that part of their life yet. But yeah, my uncle, it was like pretty much boot camp when I was learning how to drive with him. I had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and parallel parked for an hour.
Okay, that's excessive.
And he said that if you learn how to parallel park, you could pretty much control your vehicle to do anything you want. And it helped me out immensely. I don't remember seeing this part in in a. Okay, I was gonna make a editing joke, but that landed horribly, and I am sorry.
It wasn't funny the first time when homophobic countries took it out. It wasn't gonna be funny when you said it, Kyle. It's really just sad and pathetic that this is all she says is she has a girlfriend, and that was all it took for like many people to just cut this scene out of the movie.
Which is a great scene.
Right.
It's one of the best scenes.
Also, who gives a shit if she has a girlfriend? Okay.
Yeah.
But what will I tell Johnny?
Gets better.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow, we're already halfway. This movie is paced really well.
It ain't that long. We all are.
We all are.
COVID-19, baby.
That wasn't funny. Wait a minute. Colt Bronco? Aren't those two names for football teams?
Yeah.
The Colts and the Broncos? That can't be an accident. Like, that must be like the brothers, like, right? Like,
oh,
Alexis, look this up. Like, maybe, I don't know. Like, it may be like one's a Bronco and one's a Colt. Like, that can't be an accident. Or at least somebody on the production team must have named them that. Must have put that there.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys feel, and this might be a broader discussion in terms of, not just from this, movie, but do you guys think that Tom Holland, even though like he's immensely popular, and I feel he's mainly popular because of like the Marvel movies, but do you still think as an actor he's still largely underrated? I mean, as far as like his capabilities as an actor are concerned.
I think he's very rated.
Because
not overrated, not underrated.
Do you think
just
people
rated.
see him as like one-dimensional? How do you see him?
But here's the thing, though. I've seen the deep crevices of the internet, and I've seen
that sounded wrong. Don't say that again.
Yeah.
Don't say that again. The crevices.
Okay, the deep crevices of the internet.
Don't say.
It's you with your filthy mind. Get it out of the gutter.
It's just the way that you say it. And shut up. I mean, you laughed at Moreno for saying that she needed to reposition. That one time.
But anyway, I think he's very rated. I mean, but honestly, like all the hype about him is just because of his looks.
Well, because girls, and like he's young and he has boyish looks. I mean, like it's all simple, but like, what other Tom Holland movies have you seen besides, this and Spider-Man?
This and Spider-Man. That's pretty much it. I mean, everything else he's done is when he was a lot younger. He hasn't really had any time to really stretch his legs as an actor.
There's one movie that I think this came out in 2012. It's called The Impossible. This is with Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor. And Holland plays their son. It's one of those movies based on true events, the tsunami that happens and they get swept away. He's really good in that. And he's like, so if this was 2012, this was like 4 years before Civil War came out. So not that much younger. It's really good. So, and he's really good in that. Although he is noticeably younger than now.
Shout out to my Simpsons loving heart. This is Tracy Ullman, and she's largely responsible for bringing Simpsons to the public eye.
Wow. And now you can watch them all on Disney Plus.
Along with Onward, if you're watching it from there.
That ringtone always gets me.
It's like, you would think that cliche of using Marvin Gaye's music be cliche, but they managed to make it work here.
There are a lot of cliches in the movie, but they don't necessarily come across as like tired. They still work. They're funny. And this right here was hilarious. Fuck her. I thought, okay, was there, that would have been a location for an Easter egg, right?
I can't find any. We literally need to like pause every like
frame of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, where's the A113 thing? They always have that in every movie.
Guinevere. I have no idea.
I like how Guinevere has her own musical motif. If you catch it.
Yeah.
Maybe hit the... Nah, kidding. I don't know. Maybe?
Maybe what?
No. Okay.
And here is the unused animation for Gigantic.
For real?
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
They're like, we're this deep in production. We've already like created the sets. Maybe the vehicle Colt Bronco is driving. Maybe that's just a reskinned Pizza Planet truck.
No, there's an actual Pizza Planet truck. I just don't know where.
Okay.
They've been really hard to find lately. I mean, to be honest.
Because that'd be a great...
I know that in like Toy Story 4, no way.
Has nobody found it?
I think people have, but the times that I've seen it, I like can't find anything.
Because that's like the big one. That. What else is a staple? And is it the Luxo Ball?
The Luxo Ball.
References to other movies and characters. Mm-hmm. That's mainly what it is.
My mom laughed so hard in the scene.
For what reason?
When he lets go.
Yeah, this was...
The bridge between two worlds.
The world between worlds.
The space between spaces.
The space between us.
No.
The gags are so simple, but yet they hit you. I don't know. There's just a charm to this movie, isn't there?
Yeah.
You just can't help it, you know. I'm honestly struck by just the amount of indifference that some people whose opinion I hold very highly have cast this under. It's like, but again, like we just had a recent ranked episode of Pixar movies, and this didn't necessarily crack anybody's top 10, but it got close to it. That should say something.
Mm-hmm. I just think that, like, people compare all the Pixar movies to each other, and
They expect too much.
Yeah, it's like, it's not fair.
I don't need every Pixar movie to be like a 10. It's kind of not fair. I've said that for years and years and years, and yet people they have such a high bar.
People who complained about this movie, like, when it first came out, were just like, it's not top 10 Pixar, but it's okay. But it's like, it's more than okay. Like, this movie is so
it's
good.
It's good. I mean, it's okay. I mean, there's a... Oh, God.
That's the thing about, like, modern day, like, cinema and all that stuff, and, like, the way that people critique things is that, you know, people don't give it merit of its own thing. Especially with the original and it's ridiculous because this is original content that people are getting.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, with the sequel, it would be more understandable, but, like, this is its own thing, so judge it by its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a point in like, I guess, film culture, if you will, where it's like a lot of the industry press among different outlets have a very powerful outlet, powerful megaphone anyway, to where they broadcast their opinions, and the masses are just so easily susceptible to popular talk about a certain movie. So, like, I think for a while now, what we've seen is popular opinion is very easily shaped by the officials for the press, or by the press, basically. So,
where's our press passes? Damn it!
I mean, Kyle, that's your jurisdiction, not mine. I mean, what am I supposed to do? We have a pass to go.
The only thing, not to sound bitter, the only thing that's successful on the YouTube channel right now is the audio commentaries of the Pirates of the Caribbean specifically, and the only goddamn reason why that's the case is because people think that they're watching the fucking movie. And they're wrong. It's just audio with just the picture of the Black Pearl. And that's it.
One day.
Here's hoping.
What? What are you laughing at specifically?
Like his gesture of pointing.
Yeah, I just love Bart. Like, all of his, like, movements and, like, I just love him. Like, he's so ridiculous, but, like, I love it.
He's so, like, he's doofus, but yet his, like, heart is all there.
How the fuck does he fit in that car? He's a fucking centaur.
This is a cartoon. I think all laws of physics and all that stuff are
said the person who bitches
window.
And moans to this day that Rapunzel's hair didn't stay the way it did in theme parks or in the series.
Hey, that's a different thing. That's a theme
I thought
park.
rules don't apply in animation.
Yeah, but this is live action. It's live action. You see, Rapunzel, yeah, because we're dealing with live action now, the live action incarnation, so to speak.
I'm talking about the animated sequel series.
Well, if we're talking about that, the Barley in the Parks doesn't have has the cast, and at the end of the movie, he doesn't have the cast.
What cast?
Barley's cast.
I don't see a cast. What do you mean cast? Like a
he
arm
has
cast?
a cast, yeah.
Barley's cast.
Oh, you mean at the end of the movie?
He doesn't have it at the end of the movie, but he has it all throughout.
I don't...
That's a cast?
Oh my god, guys, it's a cast.
Is it?
Yes.
Wait. I'm so confused.
I thought that was just a sweatband.
No, it's a cast.
Is that... What's the cast for?
He just has it.
Some accident he had?
Yeah. Look, it's a cast.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just a sweatband.
Wow. This is blowing my mind.
Like, you know how like rocker dudes, they had like this sweatband with like
But that's like the whole arm. Sweatbands are just like
I
up
mean,
here.
why would you put any kind of logic with rocker dudes? I mean, they just vibe. I mean, I didn't think that was a cast.
I know that's why I thought that was like a sweatband with just like a hole to put your thumb through.
Yeah, I thought it was like a style choice.
And I've seen that too. I didn't know that was a cast.
Yes, it's a cast.
Oh, Guinevere, yeah. Right.
Oh my god, dude, this cracked me up, and it's so sad. Oh, it's how I felt when I had to get rid of my bug.
What happened to it?
It got destroyed.
Why?
Oh,
It was not working anymore.
because it was backed up by crayons.
Oh. This is literally my car, my bug, because it always had a pop tire.
All the freaking parking tickets.
Sad.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, that's a setup. That's definitely planting right there. That's used later.
It is?
Yeah, the headlight.
I don't remember.
Because remember, like the gem that they have to like power the what's it called, the staff, in order to make a spell that powerful, to bring back the dad. It looks like the Phoenix.
Oh, I thought they
something.
use it. I didn't know. It was...
And then they use the headlight to distract the dragon. Yeah.
I don't remember
Watch.
this.
Guys, the freaking grass.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds stupid to be gushing over like the grass and all this stuff, but just like, guys, the grass. It was pointing at there the whole time. Guys, I'm already starting tearing up.
Huh? Nothing's happened.
Just them bonding. It's so sweet.
Oh God.
The fucking unicorns.
This would be me and David. But David would totally be in the front. I'd be hiding in the back.
Feeding him snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Coming soon.
Excelsior.
Coming soon to a Disney theme park near you.
Mm-hmm. You read a Cheeto.
I can't wait.
Instead of a Cheeto, it's a Dorito.
Ha, ha, ha. I get you. I get you.
Do you guys ever have any of those energy drinks before?
I've had a 5-hour energy. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, during Black Friday, I had my first energy drink. It was a Red Bull.
How was
disgusting, but it helped.
I think I've had a Red Bull once. I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
it was like sweet, wasn't it?
It was like a diet one, so it was like weird.
Oh.
It tasted like a really, really, really sweetened Sprite.
I didn't like it.
Like a Sprite without the gas. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm a rock star guy.
No, they like scare me.
Why?
I mean, they're not good for you.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why.
I get mad at my dad whenever he drinks one, especially now. Mm-mm.
One thing I've noticed is Mexicans are very superstitious about energy drinks. At least in my experience, you're not supposed to drink them. Like I think one time, I got a package in the mail because I was renting a textbook. My dad, without even asking me, like he saw, they opened I think I opened the package. I was away for I just stepped away for.
I don't mean to pause, but this is a good moment in the movie. It's really sad.
Yeah.
That he never went to go say goodbye to his dad.
This is fucking Star-Lord, basically the whole thing with him and Meredith Quill. In the beginning of the first movie, like he didn't want to say goodbye to her because, like, you know, take my hand, Peter, take my hand.
And we're off to Never Land.
What?
Enter Sandman, Metallica.
Why is that?
I could like relate to him there because I feel like, I mean, not that like anything like that has happened to me, but I feel like I would be the same in that like you're like if you ever see, I mean, any family member, but especially like your parents or even like your sibling, to be, you know, to see them so sick like that.
Yeah.
In that like position.
I don't think I would be able to go in either.
It'd be really hard. It'll be rough, man.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
That could have ended badly.
So dumb.
Why is gelatinous cube? No one knows. No one cares. It's just great.
What were you saying about your dad?
I just stepped away from the package for like a minute. And the weird thing is the package included like a free, I think, Red Bull. I stepped away for a minute and he had already thrown it away. And I'm like, I wasn't going to drink that, but okay. It's like, shit. And his response was, you don't need that. Okay. This is in college, mind you, so...
But most likely who could have used it?
I'm good with coffee. I don't need any energy
I drink
crap.
soda. Coffee makes my stomach hurt.
Coffee, iced coffee. I love ice. Oh God, what I wouldn't kill for iced coffee right now. Shit. It's almost as if they were made for this. Or at least the dad, anyway.
Brilliant.
This is like where I am not sure if the dad can hear.
Because, it could just be, I don't know.
I think they just threw the dad down there because they knew that he doesn't have to breathe.
I was not expecting this.
No, I wasn't either. I was like, what? Because you're so invested in this, right? Like, here we go. And then we're at a fucking... What?
You're in the middle of fucking town.
Oh, I don't like Ian in this part.
I mean, he's crushed, Alexis.
I know, but like... Because even if, in the moment they weren't able to get it, like, what else could he have done with his dad? You know what I mean?
I get it, but, like, I don't think, Ian realizes that.
In the moment, he just, like, Barley's faults, even though it wasn't his own fault, just sabotaged his chance to actually meeting his dad.
But it's just human nature. I mean, how many times can either of us speak to instances that we let ourselves get carried away because we felt strong about something, right? Like, the best of us can't really. Yeah, I don't blame him for this. I mean, it was like, although, yeah.
But then also, like, to take away the dad and just, like, have him for himself, that's rude.
Yeah.
When Barley has been nothing but supportive.
Younger brothers.
It becomes Thor Ragnarok right here. Also, they picked the most dad pants that they could find, which is like khaki chinos. John Ratzenberger, everybody. That's probably like the most obvious Easter egg that could be in a Pixar movie. John Ratzenberg. Devastating. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Really?
Fuck you.
I think this is, I think a scene that will just be beyond moving, especially to families who, like in this situation where Ian and Barley didn't have a father. And then I think it's a beautiful message of, you know what, they didn't have a dad, but they weren't alone.
They had each other.
Yeah. And I just think to myself, like, I know people who, very close brothers, and in some cases, the youngest brother never really got a chance to know his father before he passed away, but he always had, in particular, one older brother always there for him, and they're very close. So, it's to me, this particular...
It's so good.
This particular audience that it's reaching out to isn't one that is all that often reached out to, I feel. And Kyle's crying, everybody.
Oh my god.
Okay, Kyle's having oh shit, I didn't realize how much he had broken down. Okay. Okay, so this scene right here was hilarious to me because all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but the curse happened, and it's like, oh, okay. I looked over at Kyle, a fucking curse, because, like, once upon a time, the TV show, the damn thing every single season was a damn curse like this. Alexis, can you see Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, just Kyle is still going. Okay.
Oh my god. Fuck you, Pixar. But yes, Once Upon a Time had a curse every season. It was pretty much curse of the week.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Very creative.
Why would you be standing there the entire time when a fucking monster is forming? Like, run away. Like, I'm sorry, I'm doing one of those things, but oh.
See, it's the headlight.
That's right. Jakara's there. I did it before Kyle did.
I wasn't even gonna make a Game of Thrones joke. I completely forgot that existed.
Oh shit! Not so subtle shade right there.
The mom is so... This action scene is so good.
Yeah.
I ship the Manticore and the mom.
Coming soon to Disney Plus. Manticore and the mom TV series. Going out on their Friday.
Manticore and the mom.
Yeah.
Octavia. The freaking music. What was I gonna say? Oh, Moreno, when you and I did the Onward review, you mentioned that, what that means for the mom of, like, having her her deceased husband come back, and like how like she would have wanted to see him. I don't know. She has a new main man now.
Huh?
But I mean, that doesn't take away from the fact that like you still get to see your dead husband.
I don't know. Maybe she's moved past it.
Yeah.
Goddamn fucking film. Show yourself.
So when are we gonna get the Onward Disney Plus series greenlit?
Down. Oh.
Oh man. Oh man. But he has a splinter. Dang. Boom, roasted.
You can tell Tom Holland is having so much fun saying these lines. I would too.
I like how Tom Holland still sounds like he's going through puberty.
Well, I mean, to be fair, his American voice it's different than his actual voice because
even when he's with his British accent, he still sounds like he's going through puberty. Very squeaky. Oh man.
I love this that we don't see it, or like we see it but we don't, like we're not there.
Yeah, because like it character speaking, this is Barley and his dad's moment, and that's the way it should be.
But we also need to see Ian's perspective of it, right? Just to see that Barley gets to say goodbye. No, it was beautifully shot, beautifully composed, and the reality is there are no words that would really, I feel, substitute how great
they did record it.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
But
they
this is so much
recorded
better.
it to if in case they needed it as reference, but nobody heard it.
But this works so much better. This is just all you need. Then you see the camera just linger a little bit on that. Back to Barley.
This movie is so good, guys. Oh my god.
Oh my god. This is... I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, man. This works really well. Like, this is. I can't say anything except for Kyle's tears, and that's that.
I love that they say that he legit asked him what his wizard name was gonna be.
Well, I think that was confirmation that he could hear then, right? Because he didn't have that much time, so I would think, because what we were just hearing...
No, because he says what would be the thing that you would ask him.
Right.
And it was
what his wizard name would be.
Yeah.
Right. But how... Okay, but then again, how would the father know what kind of person Ian was if he couldn't hear the whole time?
I don't know.
I think, I don't know. We may have a disagreement, but I just think the implication there was that the father was very well aware of what was going on throughout the movie. He just couldn't hear or anything, right? Like, he wasn't just like a disembodied body part that couldn't do or hear, that wasn't sentient.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this part.
The fucking hair.
Smacks his own ass. Oh, God. This movie is perfect. I know not much is being said, but I'm recovering. I don't know about Moreno, but I think she's recovering.
Was a reference to a picture of the director and his brother when they were little.
And of course, I think I read one of the tweets where it's like, the first thing that Dan Scanlon's older brother did after having watched this movie was give him a big, long hug.
I would have too.
This movie is
awesome. Oh man, I don't even know if I can read it. But he put out a tweet that like legit made me cry. And it's about the mom, I think. Hold on, let me see. Here, he said, "My mom raised my brother and I. Oh God, I can't see it.
Oh shit."
Okay.
Here we go. Take two.
Yeah. "My mom raised my brother and I. She was our inspiration, our protector, and our and our mighty warrior. It was the three of us versus the world." I love this movie.
We're nearing the end here, and we have two people who are just crying hysterically, so that should tell you something.
That whole last part of it when he was battling, I couldn't breathe.
No, I think that this entire experience, I feel perfectly telegraphs why it is that the movie is making such an impact. And I think, it goes true that when you write what you know, usually people will tell that it comes from a real place. It feels authentic. That pain especially came from somewhere. And I feel like in everything that Ian says and does in this movie is exactly what Dan felt like his entire life. I mean, you practically are being told the story of his childhood and some of, the biggest wishes that he'd want. And then again, it's one of the classic tales of all time, is that everything that you search for is right there all along. Yeah. And people are still crying, it seems like. Which
No, when David, because me and David didn't watch this together.
You should have.
I know, but when he came back, I obviously didn't want to say anything before he watched it, but I would cry even without saying anything. And then he came back and he was explaining to me what he liked and stuff, and he started crying.
Oh.
When I came out of the movie theater, I had to text my little brother Jake, and because Barley, the way that his mannerisms and all that stuff reminded me of him, and I texted him that, and he said that that I know that I'm a brat sometimes and all that stuff, but I even though I don't show it and express it, I do love you, and I think that this movie is really reflective of how the power of brothers are and the brotherhood and all that stuff. It's kind of hard because I had my own Barley in my life, and that is my little brother Jake. The way, and even though he is my little brother, he's still the way he would act and everything, that is Barley, and that's I think that's the...
Stop making her cry. You're making her cry on purpose, you fuck. Stop it.
I'm not trying to. I'm just speaking from my own experience.
And now he's crying again.
Brothers, man.
The next thing, I texted my little brother after seeing this movie. I shared a link to a new pop filter, and I asked, is this going to fit my snowball microphone? So that's the impact this had on me. I mean,
cold, heartless bitch.
I don't know what you want. I assume that at some point we were going to go watch this. I mean, if anything, I was looking forward to watching this because we usually watch every Pixar movie as a family. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get the chance to do that because coronavirus and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and damn, it sucks that this movie only had 2 weeks of anything of a theatrical life, because I think a lot of families out there would have loved this movie.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that this might be forgotten.
Who? You see?
Okay,
that's
I'm done.
That's funny. That's funny.
I'm done. Anything else, guys?
No, I think everything that we just said about the movie and more, I think, stands on its own. And honestly, I still think it's impressive that we're this many years into the animation studio's life and they're still cranking out hits like these. And I, for one, am very much encouraged for this decade for Pixar films, especially for Soul. Whenever we get that movie, but especially for Soul and going forward, I am very, very reassured that Pete Docter is in charge. And I think little by little, we're beginning to see the direction that the studio is going to go. And great beginning for Pixar in this decade with Onward. And it's perfect title. Onward we go, to the next era of Pixar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very much encouraged. I only saw it one time, and I liked it enough to where I literally I bought this on digital, like straight up, and I'm like, yeah. So it's really good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Yeah, and we were just saying the same shit. I mean, I don't know what else you can say except, yeah. It's now available on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus. So
yeah, everyone should go watch it. Everybody should tweet at
and they
Dan.
should watch it with our commentary over it, for extras if they want. So,
thank you, Dan. You made me cry. I think I could say that as well for Miss Moreno over here. This is a really good film. You did a really good job. I love you. Go hug your brother in a very COVID-19 special way. Safe. Be safe. Yeah. Tell your brother you love him. Yeah. Stay magical, everyone.